Viewed critically, Rust Valley Restorers can be understood as a prolonged study in adaptive resilience, and Scorched captures this essence by framing the series as a response to repeated exposure to risk rather than a celebration of mechanical triumph, because what distinguishes the show is not what is restored but what is learned in the process of attempting restoration under conditions that rarely favor success. The visual grammar of the series supports this interpretation, with frequent shots of wide open land juxtaposed against tightly framed mechanical work, suggesting an ongoing tension between control and vulnerability, and these images quietly reinforce the idea that every act of rebuilding occurs within a context that cannot be mastered, only respected. Individual scenes often subvert expectation by focusing on process over payoff, extended sequences of assessment, negotiation, and reconsideration that slow the narrative and force the viewer to engage with uncertainty, and this pacing is crucial to the Scorched Earth theme, because it mirrors the psychological reality of long-term projects where momentum is fragile and must be actively maintained. Comparing Rust Valley Restorers to more formulaic restoration shows reveals how rare this patience is, as most programs compress time to preserve excitement, while this series stretches it, allowing frustration and doubt to coexist with competence, and in doing so it invites a more honest engagement with labor itself, portraying work not as a means to an end but as an ongoing relationship with imperfection. Mike Hall's evolving approach across the series further illustrates this point, as his early confidence gradually gives way to a more measured posture, one shaped by experience rather than bravado, and the camera captures this evolution subtly, through quieter decision-making and increased willingness to revise plans, signaling growth not through speeches but through altered behavior. The concept of Scorched Earth becomes particularly resonant when environmental threats enter the frame, because fire and decay are not treated as plot devices but as realities that dwarf individual intention, and this humility anchors the series in a form of realism that is both sobering and strangely comforting, reminding the viewer that limits are universal rather than personal failures. Personal anecdotes naturally arise while watching, moments where the struggle to continue a restoration mirrors the effort required to sustain relationships, careers, or creative pursuits over time, and the show's refusal to offer clean resolutions validates these experiences, suggesting that meaning is found not in completion but in commitment. Even moments of success are portrayed with restraint, reviews that feel grounded rather than euphoric, emphasizing functionality and durability over spectacle. And this aesthetic choice reinforces the Scorched Earth philosophy, because what survives is valued more than what dazzles. Ultimately, Rust Valley Restorers endures because it treats restoration as an ethical practice rather than a hobby, a way of engaging with the past responsibly while acknowledging present constraints, and by allowing damage to inform rather than invalidate effort. The series offers a mature narrative about persistence, one that resonates far beyond its automotive subject matter and positions Scorched Earth not as a moment of destruction but as the foundation upon which more honest rebuilding can occur.